Ruben knows more about Pesach than I do.
He's pretty
learning.
That's pretty good.
So this is what we got to do all together, okay? So everybody's going to help me to do some charoset. Yes?
Okay.
Is it good?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So this is the traditional platter, and these are really to remind you different things. This reminds you, the egg is just a symbol of loss. This reminds you of the sacrifices that happened in the temple. And the charoset, as Ruben actually explained it very well, reminds you of the mortar that the slaves used to build the buildings. And every single Jewish household will have a platter like this on their table on the first and second night of Passover.
Okay.
This is
And it's many different ways. A lot of people used to use cinnamon, ginger. This is the wine, but we're gonna use a grape juice, some almonds, walnuts, sugar, honey. But what we got to do is very basic. It's gonna be apples, walnuts, and juice. Okay?
going to make charoset.
Okay, so you wanna help me to
I have to
dice?
say, by the way, charoset is my favorite dish on Passover. We make it by the bucket in the household. Yeah, it's great.
He says little cuadritos, so this is right?
This is like, when
Sí.
Mucho más pequeño.
Okay. Oh, these are like a little tiny. Wow, really small.
That's for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Is that it?
depends. Yeah, some people like to add some honey or sugar or
So you got the
cinnamon.
almonds, you got the apple, you got the grape.
normally, honestly, we puree it. That's what most people do. That way, when you puree it, it gets the consistency of the mortar. Yeah. So this is like the beginning.
Right, and then you would just maybe chop it up finer.
Put it in a food processor. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what normally.
But do you put honey? You don't put honey in there, right?
Some people put honey. In my house, we use sweet wine. That's what we do.
processor like they had back in Egypt.
Like they had back in Egypt
And so
sometimes, yes.
you eat that just kind of like on its own? On
So
the
so it's
side?
actually part of the tradition is that you take the lettuce and you dip the lettuce is a reminder for bitter herbs. You take the lettuce and you dip it into the charoset and then you eat it.
We have some lettuce over there. Let's do it. Ruben, over there.
Sacar unas cuantas nueces.
You put anytime you put ginger in that or no?
No, we don't put ginger in. We put cinnamon, certainly the nuts. You guys put ginger in? Anybody?
Cinnamon nuts,
Yeah,
apples.
I do ginger.
You do the ginger?
Cinnamon?
Cinnamon nuts, apples, and wine.
And the wine.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's made to taste.
That's very healthy.
What's
It's
also
very good.
interesting
It's
about the
very good for
charoset,
you.
and because we serve all people, we even serve non-Jews Passover food and everything, we were looking for ingredients that are kind of universal, and the charoset is the one that had it. Like if we would give people horseradish, not everybody knows what to do with horseradish,
Yeah.
but apples, nuts, grape juice, these are the basics. So we kind of felt that this could be given out universally. We put out a toll-free number people could call, and anybody could call. You don't have to be Jewish to call to get a Passover package. So we want to make sure that the items are items that are very universal. So kind of that's why you see that we didn't include the variations because those are already kind of not so mainstream. We took something that's kind of very.
During Hurricane Sandy, the city, as you know, was woefully unprepared for the victims, and so we had folks in the Armory in Brightlands District, and we had folks in my district at FDR High School. They literally had no food. I called up Cindy, and he opened up, and he literally would provide hundreds of meals every single night. Yeah, because they had MREs for seniors. I mean, the sodium level there is literally enough to kill you. I'm not exaggerating. With one meal, that's what they wanted the seniors to eat.
Yeah,
And
those
so
many great meals are really...
they made literally thousands
Chef
of
Ruben
meals.
that stayed here for 18 hours a day during.
Maybe how many? 20,000 meals in 2 weeks?
Oh my God.
In addition to what we do regularly,
Incredible.
Okay, so you want to show us down?
All right,
we're going to have pounds of almonds, 5 pounds of walnuts, and then 20 pounds of apples for each person. Volunteers, how many do they do? Like 12,000 pounds like this? We have volunteers. So what we try to do is when we get charity dollars, we try to stretch the dollar very far. So things that go into grocery for $5 a pound, we can get for less than $2 a pound, and then get Avi to get us volunteers to do. You see all those pallets that are done behind us? They're all there. So these are all done by free labor, so to speak. These are all.
Thank you for coming down.
Nice to see you again. Good, yes, in this new capacity, right?